Well, hello there, friend. Welcome back to the Construction Leadership Podcast. I'm your host, Bradley Hartman. Now, have you ever noticed that some of the most important things to learn in life are never really taught? For example, real personal finance. Grade school, high school, college. I never took a real personal finance class. Actually, until I got engaged to my wife. She was the one who said, "Hey, moron, this is how life works." And that got me on board. Also, when I think about school, I was never really taught how to read. Well, let me check that. Of course, I was taught how to read. And what I'm talking about is just how do you get through different books in different time scales to get what you need out of them. And actually, episode 432, I talked about these 4 modes of reading, but I wasn't taught any of that stuff in school. I was taught like everyone else, and there's one way to read a book, and this is why a whole lot of people don't really read on a day-to-day basis. In sports, I was never taught how to run. It wasn't until I got to college at Eastern Illinois University, and there was this angry little man. His name was Brian Jenkins. He played for the Falcons for a bit in the NFL, I think. And he was like, "Hartman, you are so slow. Why?" And I thought it was a rhetorical question. Then he just kept on yelling at me and he wanted an answer. And I'm like, "I don't know, bro. DNA? I don't know what to tell you." And he said, "Yeah, that's part of it." But he said, "Your mechanics are all screwed up, obviously." And I said, "It's not obvious. I've been playing sports competitively. I want to even get better. Can you help me run faster?" And he's like, "Yes, of course." He helped me for 2 weeks and I went from running something like a 5.340 down to like a 4.9 or a 4.85, which it isn't fast, but it's faster. And that is certainly helpful. And that leads me to work. When was the last time we taught anyone actually how to use email? And yet we know it piles up, it limits communication, it's annoying, it's a drag on productivity, it leads to more miscommunication, and yet we're never taught, we're never coached how to use email. And that's what this short episode is about. This is about the superhuman skill and tool that I learned this year, which is a high point of the year. Comes from a downside that I'll mention here. And I believe it's going to save me over a 12-month period about $250,000. And part of that is from salary. By the time you add in a basic salary and then you throw in the incredible costs of full healthcare and benefits and everything else we provide, for round numbers, that's about $100,000. And I think about how much time I invested in working with executive assistant number 4 in 4 years. And let me just say, I'll just get this out of the way right now. Obviously, I'm a very tough person to work for, and that is 100% on me. There's too much stuff going on. We're working too fast. There's too much travel. I have too little time. I have too little patience. So after moving on from executive assistant number 4 in 4 years, I said, I'm not doing it anymore. Email and calendaring was the primary job, but I'm not getting back in that ass-kicking line. I'm not doing it. There has to be a better way, and I'm going to look for a tool or some software or try something else, because just hiring another executive assistant and spending hundreds of hours trying to develop a rapport and get a working relationship only to find that's not going to work, that was not attractive to me. However, executive assistant number 3, she was very talented and got me down to inbox 0. So I felt what that was like. Before that, I kind of had a Zen philosophy about the whole thing where I would just let them pile up and I would get the most important ones. And quite frankly, it didn't bother me. And then she convinced me that it should bother me. And my general thought was, if it's really important, it'll come back, or people are going to solve it on their own, or they'll pick up the phone and they'll call me. And by and large, that worked. But once you kind of experience this breath of fresh air that comes with not feeling the burden of email by achieving inbox 0, that to me is something I wanted to maintain. But again, I wasn't taught this and I had to figure it out. And this, what I'll call a choice architecture, I'm going to share this on our website. I'll throw it up on Instagram. We're going to do a newsletter about this, but it's a very simple set of questions and answers that you can go through when you are approaching your email. And this has saved my life and saved us a ton of money. And here's the general approach. And this is what I was taught. And it is now printed out. And It's a sticker. I'm not even going to say it's on my desk. It is stickered to my desk. So I can't not see it every time I open up my laptop. And here's exactly what the sticker says. And again, I will share this with anybody. If it's of value, you can use it yourself. But I firmly believe that 90+% of people who struggle with email, dislike email, curse email on a daily basis, this can help solve a lot of it. So at the top of the sticker, it says your attention equals your intention. So your attention equals your intention. And this is something that Tom Asacker said to me on episode 399, and I have not forgot it. And if you just keep track of where your attention goes throughout the day, therefore, that is your intention. So this was something very simple that he shared with me and changed my life. So that's at the very top. And I can complain about all the email and anything else in my life, but at the end of the day, where I choose to direct my attention is my intention. So below that, this is a kindly little reminder to myself. It says, you are not obligated to invest your limited time, energy, and attention to this email simply because they found your email and fired one off. I struggle with this. I'm not very good at simply deleting emails. I feel even if people are annoying and even if they spell my name wrong, more and more people have been leaving off the E in between the L and Y, Bradley. I don't know why that is. Even when they do that, or even when they try to sell me things like I'm a contractor, I still feel like I owe them a response. Now, maybe I shouldn't, but I do. Now we come to this choice architecture. So I get into my email, and the first question I ask is, can you simply delete this and move on with your life? And obviously, if I can, I'm going to delete that right away. So far, nothing mind-blowing. Here's the second part. If the answer is no, I can't simply delete it, the next question is this: do you have to deal with it right now? Now, I speak Spanish, and in Spanish, there's this word ahora. Ahora. Now, that technically means now, but it means like now-ish. Could be now in 10 minutes, could be now in 3 hours. And sometimes I would look at an email and I'd say, do I need to deal with this now? Yeah, I do. And then I would move on to the next email. Well, wait a minute. What we want to be thinking about is the ahorita. Ahorita is the word in Spanish that means right now. Damn it. Right now, right this instant, mister. Do it. Right now. The right now of right nows. And that is what we're talking about. If this email is yes, I need to deal with it right now, then that is exactly what I should do. If the answer is no, I can't delete it, but no, I'm not going to deal with it right now. The question is then, when should I deal with this? And often this is, I don't know, not today, maybe tomorrow. And what you want to do is you want to imagine picking this email up with your hands and throwing it over the fence to say, I don't know, I'll get it tomorrow, but I'm certainly not dealing with it now, but I do not want to see it cluttering my inbox. And this, I believe, is the marketing failure of inbox zero. To get the benefit of inbox zero, you just need that today. The peace of mind that gives you the focus that you don't have these emails bearing on you today. Not all of them, just today. So if you can just get to inbox zero today and punt on all the other emails that you don't need to the future, maybe that's tomorrow, maybe it's next week, maybe it's 90 days from now. As long as you can do that, that is where the benefit comes. And this is why I feel there's this failure with marketing of inbox zero, meaning all your emails, 100% of them have to be at zero. Well, that's stupid. Sometimes we have to deal with stuff in like a week or two, not today. It's important, just not important today. And this to me was the real insight. If you can't delete it, and do you have to deal with it now? If the answer is yes, you do it now. If it's not, then you say, when should you deal with it? And then you want to decide when to push it and when you get to that. So imagine I say, well, today's Tuesday. I don't need to deal with this till, I don't know, maybe Friday at 8 a.m. I'm going to punt that to Friday at 8 a.m. And then I'm going to see it for the next time, not until then, at Friday at 8 a.m. And then I'm going to go through this choice architecture again. Can I simply delete this? Sometimes conditions change. We already solved it and I just delete it. But other times I run through that. Nope, I have to deal with it. Do I have to deal with it now? Actually, not right now. Okay, when do I need to deal with it? And you go through the same process. And sometimes I say, actually, I don't need to deal with this right now. I'm going to punt this to next Tuesday at 8 a.m. And I just move on. Now, if this seems so obvious you wouldn't need a flow chart, well, you're probably smarter than I am. I need one. I need this in front of me. That is why it is on a sticker on my desk right here. Now, the other big thing to note here with email is the rise of AI. And I don't know if it's going to rise up and it's going to kill us all. I don't really care because I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow. And what I do know is tomorrow, just like today, and like I've been doing over the last several months, AI has been making my life incredibly joyful and wonderful and tender. Yeah, that's right. Email has become tender. It's a friend of mine now. You know why? Because I can write things when, who was it? It was, where is that? David. It's David from the UK who emails me for the fourth time saying that he runs a net zero plant hire company, which I don't even know what it is. He spelled my name wrong and he won't stop emailing. So I want to either unsubscribe, I want to block, but I also just want to let him know, I'm sorry. I appreciate your interest in being a guest on the show. We're going to focus on contractors and the manufacturers, distributors, and suppliers that support them. That's what we're going to do. So no, you can't come on the show. Quit emailing me, please, David from the UK. Now, how do I write that? How am I going to control my aggression? How am I not going to be a wise ass? I'm not. I'm going to type thanks, but no thanks, focusing on contractors, and click the AI button. And it puts together a very nice, cordial, thoughtful, 50-word reply. That is amazing. I get a giant smile on my face and I say, yes, that is the exact tone and sentiment. And I hit send. Done. So if you're currently not using AI to help you manage your email, you are missing out on speed and efficacy and a lack of BS in your life. It can be removed. Not all of it, but a lot of it. And every time it happens, it's just a little piece of magic. Now, the other thing that I hate about email is connecting to calendars. I think the Outlook 365 calendar setup, it's ugly and it's stupid and I kind of hate it. So I never want to go in there anymore. So having you type your email and then if you said, oh, on December 15th, and while I'm in my email, up pops my calendar, that's amazing. And then if I can hit just a couple keystrokes and then a Zoom link comes in like magic, that has saved my life as well. So here's what I'm leading up to. This, by the way, this is not an affiliate. I'm making absolutely no money from this. It's called Superhuman. It costs, I don't know, $300 a year or something. It has made all of these things of punting on emails that are important, but not today, giving me automatic reminders. It has made it really easy to unsubscribe to newsletters that I never signed up in the first place. You've probably had that happen. It has eliminated a lot of junk. I felt like so much crap was getting through into my inbox, like the filters weren't even working anymore. So all of these were solved. The name of the platform is Superhuman. I would absolutely recommend it to a friend. It has changed my life for the better this year and has allowed me not to get back in the ass-kicking line, not hiring another executive assistant right now. When you start with Superhuman, they take you through a tutorial, which is the first time in my life anyone taught me how to use email. If the answer is no, you don't have to deal with it now, but yes, it is important. When should you deal with it? It makes it easy with one click of the button, the letter H as it turns out, and you can send it off in the future. So you can get inbox zero today. You can feel confident and comfortable knowing what you can focus on. And that is where the results come from. Feeling confident and capable that you don't have to check your email 1,000 times a day and you can focus. You can concentrate your efforts on a single task and make that great. So check out Superhuman. Hopefully this is helpful. If you have other tips on how to use email that you want to share, don't hesitate to reach out directly to me and my team at info@bradleyhartmanandco.com. That's all we've got. Look on the socials on LinkedIn, Instagram. If you are not subscribed to our construction leadership newsletter that comes out every other week, I would strongly recommend you go to our website. You can just email me to at info@bradleyhartmanandco.com. We can sign you up for it. We're going to share this graphic that shows this flowchart. Again, I firmly believe this can help change your life in a positive way as you enter the new year. That's all I've got. Thank you for listening. You, my friends, are owed nothing. Deliver value first. Make it a great week.